Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed participates in the opening ceremony of Qatar National Library in Doha. $27.5 million Omani riyals is the value of assigned works for small and medium-sized enterprises for tenders and government procurement. And the Sultanate's efforts in preserving and protecting the environment are hailed internationally. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, participates in the opening ceremony of Qatar National Library in Doha in response to an invitation from the Qatari leadership. Upon his arrival at Hamad International Airport, His Highness was received by His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser bin Khalifa Al Thani, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, a number of Qatari officials, His Excellency Najib bin Yahya Al Blushi, the Sultanate's ambassador accredited to Qatar, and members of the Omani Embassy. His Highness is accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed Al-Shaybaniya, Minister of Education, His Excellency Sheikh Al-Fadil bin Mohammed Al-Harthi, Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, and a number of officials in the government sector. March of historical good relations joined the Sultanate with the United Kingdom in all fields and means of developing them in a way that achieves interests of both brotherly countries. Top the discussions of His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, with His Excellency Admiral Sir Philip Jones, Chief of the Naval Staff in the United Kingdom, and his accompanying delegation. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and discussed a number of matters of common concern. Around 27.5 million Omani riyals was the value of assigned works for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, for tenders and government procurement during 2017. That was revealed at the discussion session of the tender board. More than 20 public and private establishments took part in the session, which aimed at strengthening the SMEs' role in public tendering. The participants called upon the chairman of the tender board to allocate 10% of the government establishment's budget for small and medium enterprises for direct contracts through public biddings. From his side, the chairman of the tender board called upon the bodies concerned to ease SMEs' direct contact with big companies in addition to simplifying procedures and expedite transaction procedures for awarding tenders to small and medium-sized enterprises. The United Nations hailed the Sultanate's effort in supporting the global campaign Clean Seas. This came during the start of the Oman Environment Forum under the auspices of His Excellency Mohammed bin Salim Al-Toubi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs. The organization of this forum came within the framework of cooperation between Environment Protection Office at the Diwan of the Royal Court, Al Ru'ya newspaper, and the Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs. The discussion sessions and work papers in the forum focused on a number of topics related to environment issues in the Sultanate and challenges facing them, as well as the laws. The experts participating in the forum also reviewed the government and private sector efforts in this field. During the forum, an award was launched under the supervision of the United Nations related to environment protection. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Parents' Council in the Wilaya of Bahla celebrated the Teachers' Day by honoring hundreds of school teachers from the Wilaya. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Hundreds of Syrians gathered in the landmark square in the capital Damascus today in support of the country's armed forces, who claim they succeeded in confronting the unprecedented joint strikes by the West this weekend. Demonstrators set off fireworks and unleashed celebratory gunfire. Russian and Syrian officials have sought to downplay the impact of the joint airstrikes by the US, France and Britain, saying the Syria's air defenses intercepted most of the missiles. The Pentagon said no missiles were engaged. US President Donald Trump said the strikes intended to punish President Bashar al-Assad for alleged chemical weapons used in the town of Douma, where the activists say more than 40 people were killed. Chinese President Xi Jinping today met with Klaus, Schwab founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, WEF, at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. While saying China's cooperation with the WEF had coincided with the country's reform and opening up process, Xi suggested that it was necessary for both sides to keep pace and advance with the times, strengthen cooperation, and work together in pursuit of new driving forces for global economic growth and find out practical and feasible proposals to address global changes. Xi attended the World Economic Forum in Davos last January and delivered a speech in which he profiled China as a vigorous defender of globalization and free trade. Severe weather across the U.S. has forced parts of Virginia to declare a state of emergency, including the cities which have been hit by strong winds with the potential for tornadoes to form. Reports from the nearby town of Ellen, Virginia say about 24 homes were destroyed or severely damaged. Up to 6 people were hospitalized. In the city of Greensboro, an apparent tornado caused damage in several locations. Much of the upper Midwest is digging out from a massive spring snowstorm. 2 feet of snow fell on parts of the region and roads were coated with ice. Meanwhile, massive rainstorms are causing huge floods in Hawaii. Back to some more local news. The main committee of clubs competition for youth creation 2017-2018 stressed on the government's keenness towards the youth talents and their participation in international events. This came during honoring ceremony held in Muscat under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing. The competition included a number of fields such as speech, sports, commentary, theater, poetry, fine arts, cinematography, photography, and digital design. It is worth mentioning that such events aim to enhance the youth talents and capabilities in the related fields, in addition to encourage them to be creative and invest their time in good activities. Thirteen Arab countries, including the Sultanate, gathered in Muscat in the Works of Training workshop on monitoring media means role during elections. The workshop focused on analysis of elements on which the covering of elections process is based on. During the workshop, the participants got acquainted with the international regulations and laws related to human rights during elections. It was presided over by His Excellency Nasser bin Sulaiman al-Saibani, Deputy Chairman of Public Authority for Radio and Television. Under the title, The Future Responsibility of Information Studies in Enriching the Smart Society, the activities of the 4th Information Forum started today at Sultan Qaboos University. The forum focused to spread awareness of the latest technology developments among the community. The event was accompanied by an exhibition which included a number of cultural and social activities and programs that aim at raising awareness and exchanging knowledge and expertise among the participants and the visitors. Enhancing bilateral cooperation in the naval field between the Sultanate and Britain were discussed by the Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, while receiving Admiral Sir Philip Jones, Chief of the Naval Staff in the United Kingdom, and his accompanying delegation, which currently visited the Sultanate. During the meeting, they exchanged point of views in a number of matters of common concern. And while his visit to the Sultanate, Admiral Sir Philip Jones, Chief of the Naval Staff in the United Kingdom, and his accompanying delegation visited Marine Security Center. The visitor guest was briefed about tasks and duties of the center represented in administration, leading operations of marine security from dangers such as research and rescue operations, preserving marine environment from various dangers. The guest was reviewed also modern devices and equipment used in assigning marine security operations. In celebrations of the Teachers' Day, the Parents' Council in the Wilaya of Bahla honored more than 190 school teachers from the Wilaya in appreciation of the teachers' role in building the capacities of the generations. This event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Services. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi has more details in the following report.
Teachers are icons of knowledge and wisdom. Hence, the Parents' Council in the Wilaya of Bahla held the celebration to mark Teachers' Day and to express appreciation to the educators of future generations for their hard work.
Being teacher is an amazing aspect. It means that you will participate in the development and renaissance of your country by spreading knowledge among students, whom later will be judges, teachers, engineers, doctors, and all of them will cooperate in the building of our beloved country, Oman.
At the ceremony, the Parents' Council honored 198 male and female teachers from 33 schools around the Wilaya for their continuous efforts in shaping the future of learners.
I would like to convey a message of great thanks for the Parents' Council in Bahla. It's really an honor for us as teachers to have been chosen for being a distinguished workers or teachers, we can say. A teacher who is responsible of shouldering a great message to teach students.
This honoring, it's going to help the teachers to be like models and inspire the students to give more in their societies, in their schools, as people in future.
The event emphasized the significant role of the teachers in the development of individuals and communities. The program included speeches and artistic performances aiming to pay tribute and gratitude to the teachers. Indeed, teachers play a substantial role towards education and students' life. This honoring ceremony will further boost the teachers' performance in the educational field. From the Wilaya of Bahla, Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
The International Fund for Animal Welfare discussed in a workshop in the Governorate of Muscat the secure procedures to combat the illegal shark trade. The workshop, which was organized by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs, witnessed a participation of a number of environment specialists from different world countries. The three-day event was presided over by His Excellency Najib bin Ali Rawas, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs. Preparing health security national plans and estimating its cost top discussion of the work session of under-regional training in Muscat. This session, which was organized by the Ministry of Health in cooperation with World Health Organization and through joint foreign evaluation, aimed to provide technical consultation for preparing health security work plans and refine preparing and responding for public health events which may pose a threat at local and international levels. Joint foreign evaluation considered as one of evaluation and follow-up elements for the international health regulations, and it was conducted in 14 countries of 23 regions in the Middle East. The inauguration of the session was under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Talib al-Hanai, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Health for Planning Affairs. Royal Oman Police ROP held a ceremony for the opening of a new building of Al Amirat Police Station. The opening of the new building comes within the framework of the efforts exerted by ROP to establish police headquarters in various wilayats of the Sultanate. The new building will contribute in strengthening security umbrella in the wilaya and will render police services to citizens there. On this occasion, a military parade was held at the training ground at the premises under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Hamad bin Saeed Al-Aufi, Under Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. The participants at the military parade chanted Royal Oman Police Nasheed, in which they renewed their loyalty and gratitude to His Majesty Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. After that, the chief guest, accompanied by Assistant Inspector General for Police and Customs for Operations, unveiled the commemorative declaring the official inauguration of the new station. Then the chief guest made an inspection tour around the new building, which was provided with all modern equipments and facilities. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Sharqiya, Dhofar and Wusta. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed participates in the opening ceremony of Qatar National Library in Doha. $27.5 million Omani riyals is the value of assigned works for small and medium-sized enterprises for tenders and government procurement. And the Sultanate's efforts in preserving and protecting the environment are hailed internationally. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a good night.